crawlers, because spore crawlers, they're easy to get. You don't need evolution chambers. You just get them really quick and it's fine. And it's more of a, am I being super greedy?
Yeah.
And every single time, Xigua is just being super
He
greedy.
was being overly greedy in the last map, but he saw Zealot, he saw Stalker, and ever since the early days, Zergs have been saying, if you don't see that early sentry,
you know,
you
tech
have
somewhere
to assume that there's something coming. What are the tech options? It's either Robo, either Stargate, it's either Robo or Stargate or Twilight Council. So
you have to prepare for all of them if you're not willing to put an Overlord into it. He did send in an Overlord, but I wasn't able to see that Dark Shrine, and still it's too late. So
hopping into Heavy Rain, our 4th map in the series, with Tassadar currently leading 2-1, and he has spawned here in the top half of the map. His opponent, the blue Zerg player, Xigua, has spawned down here in the bottom half of the map. And I got to say, Xigua looked great in game number 1 and has failed to cope with DTs in either game 2 or 3. I hope that we get to see him play a more standard game. I really do suspect an Immortal All-In on this map.
Mortal All-Ins are good. Of course, third base juts out into the Protoss, so makes it super easy. And if you want to take the other third base, good luck connecting those bases, and good luck defending against that ridge line all the way on the right-hand side.
Yeah, because there's just as much space to force field here.
Exactly.
As anywhere else. Here to the or here to the hatch is tough too.
Yep. Life is hard if you are Zerg on this map, but we'll find out exactly what both players do. Honestly, Ben, I think it's very likely that we will see a 2-base all-in. Immortal all-ins, as you said, were really powerful, but any all-ins are really powerful. Putting a lot of pressure to kill that third base, really taking advantage of the fact that that third is so wide out in the open, it could be attacked from any area, and it is hard to connect creep from the natural to the third base. So I think it can look good, especially coming from that left side. Can you go to the left side of the third?
Yep.
Coming from over there, you can't get a good surround if you're Zerg. I mean, you can try to. It's rather difficult. And then you have that assimilator, or the gas, that's helping you out with the wall.
Xigua just going to go ahead and expand to this location.
Yep. We talked about that.
Yep. We'll see if this ends up biting him in the end, or if it works out okay. We've got a gateway opening for Tassadar, who's mixing it up a little bit. He has classically been going Forge Expand, Nexus first, but this time it's a gateway.
Which is still very standard. I like what we're seeing from Tassadar too, just the constant mix-up. And the probe gets over here, sees, oh, where's your third base? It's not there. It's at the other location?
No, goodness.
Are you serious?
And now he's sad that he didn't make that forge.
From here, he's like, well, I have to 2-base one all in. Imagine if he's like, nope, gonna 1-base all in, cancel the Nexus, 5 gateway all in.
That would be hilarious, and in line with my gambling expectations.
Oh, it was super sick.
But we do see that Nexus going down, so it looks like Tassadar is at least going to take 1 expansion. And
he is going for the macro game. Chrono boosting on that mothership core just to get it out as fast as possible. So far, third hatchery will go down momentarily, I'm sure. 4 minutes and 15 seconds is the standard time to put it down, so I'm actually surprised it's not being put down right away. Not sure what he's doing to...
Xigua staying gasless for quite some time, and I'm a bit surprised that going gasless, he hasn't planted this third base yet.
What is going on? He's getting an extra queen. Is that...
Before, he's getting queen and overlord before...
No, look at the third base. There's a queen over there, queen in the main base.
Yeah, and
he's getting a third queen. And then putting down the hatchery.
Strange order of doing things. Maybe he feels like the queen has added security against attacks. I'm not really sure. Either way, we are seeing the beginnings of what is inevitably going to be a 2-base push. Now this,
this isn't an all-in.
This isn't an all-in at all. This is 3-gate pressure right now.
So what if it's a 3-gate pressure and he wins? Is that a wash?
Yeah, we can call that a push.
Okay. We'll find out what happens. Because Xigua looks...
If he goes up to 5 gates, we'll call it.
Yes, of course, that's an all-in.
3-4 gates. And if the game ends here, we'll push it. Here come those Zealots. making their way forward, and it's a good thing we have an extra queen, right? Because that'll help
That's
a
right.
lot. Queen can usher out that mothership core, can absorb quite some punishment.
And wow, that makes a lot of sense now. Getting the early queen, of course, it's at the cost of...
Oh, and a good surround here with these lings. Very nicely
Recall.
done. That's probably going to force a recall.
Recall.
Not going to force a recall?
No. Oh my god. He
Wow.
loses the mothership core.
Misplayed, in my opinion. Xigua is going to continue producing Zerglings. But that's almost a best case development, I feel, for Xigua. That said, we're still seeing double probe production on Tassadar's side of the map. Maybe he feels like by forcing all these extra lings, he's kind of keeping himself in the macro game. It is 30 probes to just 24 drones after all.
That's true. Look at the number of gases, by the way, that Xigua has.
Yeah, he's got a lot of them untaken.
That significantly affects the gas timings of everything, Ben.
And now the Stargate goes down.
Stargate normally meaning that we're going to see a very long-term game. Hopefully that's the case.
Whoa, lings.
There are some all-ins that you can do with Stargate, but it's Void Ray. At this point, I think Void Ray all-ins won't really be too effective. You need to catch your opponents off guard. It's not too easy to do that when you've done already your pressure, and then you're switching into Stargate at 7 minutes 30 seconds. Normally, you're getting Stargates at 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
And the Stargate is scouted, so
And that.
things go from bad to worse for Tassadar here. The Xigua is finally starting to mount a pretty good-looking attempt here. Of course, he can even up the series with a win on this map, which would be great for Chinese StarCraft fans everywhere. Would be great for Xigua. Be very sad for Tassadar.
Check this out, Oracle on the way out. I like the Oracle choice. We haven't seen any Spore Crawlers.
Ever.
Okay. Just as I say that, 3 Spore Crawlers go down. I will not lose to Dark Devil! That's what he's saying.
And he will also not lose to Oracles in this
That's
case,
true,
although the Oracle should be able to find a couple of openings here and there if it's persistent.
And, well, just very standard play so far. Xigua, we can definitely say, is monstrously ahead with cleaning up all that early game aggression. Even though he's behind
Man,
in...
Tassadar, you're killing me.
Even though Xigua is behind in the gas realm, if you look at the income tab, it's 54 to 47. Yeah, it's not that great, but he's getting so many drones so fast, and at the same time putting on good pressure with the Zerglings all over the place. So, and parrying the pressure with the Oracle. So I think overall Xigua is in a better position than Tassadar.
This initial Oracle has not done a whole lot of damage. Picked up a couple of drone kills, but Queens are on the hunt. Spore Crawlers are in position. And really, the Oracle has failed to pay for itself as yet. Third base has gone down and looks like it is going to finish up. So I am once again going to lose a point. At this point, I'm almost guaranteed to be buying dinner.
We still have a lot more matches.
Yeah, we have
I'll give you catch up. Don't
games to
worry.
be played.
I will always give you catch up. There was one time where me and Ben were betting on Super Smash Brothers, and we had a $480 match.
Yes, we did.
And I'll let you catch up, Ben.
I dug a bit of a hole for myself.
You did. We started at $1.
Double or nothing.
It wasn't quite double or nothing all the time, but we did.
Third Nexus does finish up right now for Tassadar. He's adding the Robo behind it. This is starting to look like a very standard PVZ. He's making the Void Rays. We're going to probably add in the... oh, he's going to go straight up to Colossus Tech, in fact. Warp Prism also on the production tab.
Okay.
Trying to open up some harassment possibilities.
Man, I love Xigua's creep spread so far this game.
He's done a fantastic job of it. One of the things that taking this base does is it opens up this creep spread much sooner than it normally would be.
Yeah, and especially with, as I said before, getting that super, super early queen. Great stuff coming out of Tassadar, though. Locking down these roaches, getting a quick kill. Great force field placement overall.
Yep. And the decision of Xigua is actually to throw down the Hydra Den. And I'm not sure how fond I am of that. I love the choice of Tunneling Claws. Makes me very happy to see that. I don't think it's actually going to come into play in this particular game, but it might.
You don't think so?
As actually, Immortals have been skipped. It's just Void Rays and Gateway units right now. So maybe this will come into play. We're going to have to wait and see.
I'm
Spire's
actually
also
thinking
going down.
it's a really nice addition because I don't think there's nearly enough burst. The Immortals give you so much burst there in the beginning stages to make it so unattractive for this Tunneling Claw stuff to really work. You know, when I was really theory crafting all this, and thinking how it affected the changes, I was saying, oh, it's not really going to affect anything because every Protoss loves to get Immortals. It's just what you do. It's so much, sometimes it's so much more effective than getting Colossus. But in this case, no Immortals, you could be in a lot of trouble as the Protoss in this upcoming engagement.
Yeah. That said, the roach count, well, it's at 19. It's higher than I thought it was. They're sort of spread out around the map, but there are roaches all over the place.
And it should be roaches from here on out. No more Hydras. He's already gotten a ton. He wants those Hydras to deal with the Void Rays specifically, and then, of course, the Master Roaches dealing with the very, very light ground.
Just a single observer in that army. If that were to be taken out, that would empower that burrow play even more.
That's right. And here it comes. The attack is going to be commencing here. 189 supply for the Zerg right now. And Tassadar has stepped out at 148 supply. Kind of questionable supply to be stepping out at.
Yeah, it's a dangerous time to leave your base.
Yeah.
It's a big tunnel attack. I guess the observer probably would keep it from being too effective, but you never really know, man.
There is attack at the natural, though. Tunneling cloth roaches. They move so fast.
I love this speed. We haven't actually seen this used to great effect in too many pro games, but it is just awesome when we do see it.
Oh god, that's painful.
Yeah, tough spot to fight in for our Zerg player. He's going to get a lot of units force fielded off at the same time. There's a second prong to this attack coming into the back of the third base. These tunnel roaches are going to try to get up into the main. Can 2 roaches kill a Colossus? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'll tell you what, though, a lot of roaches can definitely do some serious work to an expansion. As unfortunately, well,
I think this is incorrect.
Haven't chosen a target to focus.
I think this is incorrect. I mean, he's not going to kill the Nexus. He's just sent in a lot of units. What he wants is direct confrontation before his opponent gets to that critical mass of 180, 190 supply. But now an attack over at the main base. Great multi-pronged harass all over the map.
Well, this looks great for Tassadar.
Yeah, he's moving down the center.
He's defended all of this, and Xigua, he threw so many units at Tassadar. God, look at least the resources lost, 4,400 to almost 10,000, more than doubling the effectiveness of his opponent. Tassadar is in a great position to make a push on this expansion. This hatchery is absolutely going to go down. There are still units being warped in up here in the main.
But the 4th base going down here is kind of like the nail in the coffin, especially with Roach Hydra. You want to be, you normally have inefficient fights, and then once your Vipers come into play, then you're really starting to make all that efficiency up. But where are the Vipers?
Awesome.
They're gone. Where are the Corruptors? 3 of them on the way out. The Hive isn't even started, I don't think. No, it hasn't. I don't even think an Infestation Pit is started. So things.
First Corruptors are finally entering the fray.
Yep.
Upgrades not very good for our Zerg player. Upgrades are okay for our Protoss players. Neither side with exceptional upgrades at this point in the game. But the real story here is just the supplies. Tassadar is at about 170 supply.
Yes.
With money to spare, with the kind of army that is very strong at 170 supply. Xigua has 194 supply, but he's got no real ability to reload. And this is the kind of army that's going to take a couple waves of Zerg to deal with, barring a just dream engagement.
I think so. Now expanding to the 4th base is Tassadar over on that top right. I feel
it's the fastest Hydra I've ever seen.
You know what? Oh gosh, this is not good. And
another tough spot. Good force fields, good blinks, and Tassadar trying to drive it home has trapped this army against the rocks, and Xigua is going to take very painful losses. A single Corruptor makes its way into the mix and immediately heads for the hills. As Tassadar continues to extend his lead, Roach is trying to...
This counterattacking play doesn't make sense unless you have a significant supply advantage, so I'm not sure why he's really committing to doing this. Even adding insult to injury by getting some Phoenixes. Obviously, Phoenixes have no point being in this game. You're not expecting any meterless switches. He's just doing it for the sake of doing it, in my opinion. And Tassadar knows he has a stranglehold on this game, and he's going to tighten the noose pretty soon here.
Yeah, he's perhaps moments away from closing this one out. Xigua showed us a very good game 1, and honestly just struggled against the DTs. A pretty good engagement here as the Corruptors are going to right-click on a Colossus. And this is the best fight he's had all game long, and finally we see Tassadar losing a few units. Colossi are going to go down. Void Rays are going to go down.
That's how to use the roaches. Really stepping up.
Some nice use of tunnel there. Now, if Xigua can manage to maintain some sort of supply numbers, perhaps deny that 4th expansion, then maybe we're talking about a little bit of a comeback here.
These burrowed roaches are really good, really good against a player that isn't going any immortals. There's just not enough burst damage, and especially with the increased regeneration that you'll have. Roaches...
Xigua maybe splitting up a little bit poorly there.
A little bit too much.
Is gonna...
That's been the problem, too. He's been splitting up way too much.
But he is going to go ahead and pick another big fight. Roach is going to move right up on top of these Stalkers. We see Phoenix is lifting units, a great Zealot warp in. And hard to say exactly which way this fight's going to go, as the Stalkers are being microed very well, but the Roaches and the Hydralisks with incredible damage output look like they might actually crash through. 160 Zerg supply against 108. How is Xigua pulling this off? The Stalkers forced to retreat to the low ground of the safety of Photon Overcharge, which is soon to be expiring, by the way.
There it goes. And I have to feel like Tassadar kind of let this slip away from him. He wasn't really expecting any good fight to happen. The Corruptors came out of nowhere to him. He wasn't expecting them at all. And from here...
He does find a little bit of stability there as but Zerg is waiting on reinforcements.
I feel like... Obviously, I'm going to say, I thought the Phoenixes were him just being cocky. I really do. And it's come to bite him because he needed that valuable gas for additional Sentries, for Immortals, for more
This
Colossus.
Is another great opportunity for those Roaches to take advantage of Tunneling Claws. Corruptor's just going to be right-clicked on that Colossus, and now the Zerg army going to head straight down into this 4th expansion.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Only the Zerglings keeping a lot of space between them. And these Blinkstalkers will have to pop back all the way into the 3rd base. Meanwhile...
It's a 24-kill Oracle.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
The 4th base, look at that. There's no
man, he cleaned out all the drones. Nearly 30 drone kills here for Tassadar. That said, this Nexus is going to go ahead and fall. Tassadar mined out in his main. He's got a little bit of money left in his natural, but beyond that is just relying on kind of 1.5 bases worth of mining. Xigua has absolutely stabilized. He's roared back into this thing. And I'm not really sure where it went wrong for Tassadar. I guess it all comes down to that one poor engagement and maybe a bad idea in going Phoenixes.
Yeah, it's exactly it, Ben. It's just really unfortunate. He was so cocky with his lead, and now he's paying for it. I don't think it's completely over. Don't get me wrong. Like, Immortals, you can't underestimate the power of Immortal Sentry, and he is starting to get an Immortal count. That's 2 out on the field right now.
+3 attack, so those Immortals are going to be brutal. But while Xigua's been running him around the map and attacking everywhere he can possibly manage to find openings, he's also gotten +2 armor. So we've got 2/2 Roach Hydra against +3 0 Protoss. There's no armor, there's no shields for the Protoss player, and we've got a big attack shaping up here.
That's right. And he should just clear out the rocks first before actually...
Ling's managing to spot this building expansion down on the other side of the map. Xigua's got to be very careful. He doesn't want to get too choked up here. And well, here we go. Stalker's going to be blinking backwards. No use of tunnel just yet. These units are really choked up. Those are good force fields, and these Immortals hammering away to the best of their ability, but the probes are just disintegrating, and with no probes, you got no income, and with no income, how can he sustain this kind of a fight? Xigua, this is an expensive battle for him.
It is. I think this is actually correct. Tassadar shouldn't be defending this location. Give it up and re-expand to the 3rd base in the mid-left-hand position. That was still an okay trade right there. He's just going to increase his count in sentries, and from here he should, I would think, push out a little bit. Units tab showing now 3 Immortals on the field against a total of 34 Roaches, 36 Roaches. Wow, that's scary. And of course the 10 Hydras.
Man, Xigua, this game was so lost. And
yeah, it really was. And where the heck are the Protoss units? I don't know why they're all the way over in the mid-right-hand position. They need to be defending this Nexus. It's going to go down pretty soon.
This is the only mining base that remains for Tassadar, and there is nothing anywhere nearby for defense. There's no mothership core to recall to that expansion. This Nexus is going to fall. I don't know if Tassadar has the money remaining to him to build a new Nexus.
I don't think so, Ben. This is going to be most likely the determining fight. No, it's not. Oh, God.
It is indeed.
There it
And
is.
Tassadar taps out. Xigua evens it up. And we're going to be going to yet another Game 5. Fantastic play from our Chinese Zerg, showing us a glimmer of brilliance. This is why he has been called the best Zerg player in China in the past. And this is why he hopes to reclaim that title here with a good run through the 2014 American Premier League. Folks, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with the final map in this best-of-5 series.